Hi guys, so this is going to be a quick little lesson on, this is just a real easy or real simple sort of jam in the key of A major. So this is something that you could even use if you're learning pentatonic scales, or later on you might be learning pentatonic scales. This would be a really nice little jam sort of tune just to play over if you're practicing in the key of A major with your pentatonic scales or whatnot. So we're just going to be going through this, or if you're just, learning new chords and stuff like that, this is a real nice little tune just to kind of learn some new chords. So there's 3 chords in this little jam, and that's going to be A, D, or A major, D major, and E major. All major chords, and it's going to be following you might maybe notice, it's going to be following a 12-bar blues sort of pattern. So, so even though it doesn't necessarily sound like blues, it is following that blues 12-bar pattern. If I wanted to add a little blues thing, I could add that in there, and then it would turn into a more blues sound, and it would still stay in A. But for now, we're just going to be sticking with those main chords. So A, D, and E. So perfect. So first of all, we're going to be starting with our our root chord. This is home bass. This is the key that the song is in. This is, like I said, home bass, root, A. So how do we play an A? An A, we're going to, there's a few ways that you can play it, but this is the way that I suggest that we play it for now. So we don't play the 6th string. 6th string, we're going to avoid playing that. We're just going to be playing the 5 bottom strings, because the 5th string, that bass, that's an A. So we don't want to muddle it up with an E in there. We want to have that A bass ring out. So after that, what we're going to do, now I'm using my pinky for this. I know some people, they'll play it with their 3 fingers here. I like to play with these 3 fingers, and I like to play with my pinky because the pinky tends to be the weakest finger out of all 4 fingers. We tend to want to play with these fingers, and we try to avoid the pinky because the pinky's a little bit weaker. But that's just all the more reason why to use our pinky, so that we can strengthen our pinky, because then when we need our pinky, we want to be able to rely on our pinky. So we're going to be playing it like this. So what we're going to do, we have our 5th string open, and that's our A, and our high E, our 1st string, is also going to be open. Our middle finger is going to be on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Our middle finger is going to be on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and our pinky is going to be on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. So 2nd fret 4th string, 2nd fret 3rd string, 2nd fret 2nd string. Now altogether, it's going to sound like this. I know some people who do the same thing, but except they use their index. So you just move it like that. I know some people do like that. That's not necessarily wrong. It's still the same thing. Like that. Sometimes, if you're learning bars, you can kind of do a little half bar. But don't worry about that for now if you're not there yet. That's how we play an A. Now, because we're kind of doing a blues, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our A. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move to our 4th. And what is that? That's in an A major scale, so that's our scale. So what we do is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a D. So a D is the 4th note in our A major scale. 1, 2, 3. Start off with the A. 4, the 4th note is a D. So what we're going to do, after a little while, we're going to move to the 4th. And now a D, how that's going to be, we're going to be, now our 5th, 6th, and our 5th string, we're going to not play those. The 5th string, if you do play the 5th string with it, it doesn't sound horrible, but it just then kind of, I feel like sometimes it almost nullifies the actual bass of the chord, which is the D, because then you have an even lower note. So use that, you know, be careful with that one. But I would suggest just playing the 4 strings. So our 4th string open, so that's our bass, that's a D. And then after that, we're going to put our index on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, the E, and the ring finger right here, we're going to be placing it on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Little story that I like to tell some of my students is you have your 2 bunums right here, your 2 little guys, and they live on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and the 1st string. They're hanging out here, and they want to hang out, but there's this river. River is the 2nd string. There's this river there, and they go, oh, well, how are we going to hang out? Okay, well, let's build a bridge. However, they're not the smartest in the world, so they don't build the bridge right here. They build the bridge right next to them on the 3rd fret. So they might have to walk over there to cross the bridge. But for now, whatever. They built the bridge right beside them. But there you go. So there's the 2 guys hanging out on the 2nd fret of the 3rd and 1st string. And they build the bridge on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Little story. I don't know. Maybe it helps. I don't know. Maybe it makes it worse. Who knows? But anyway, so we have our A. We have our 4th, which is our D. Now we're going to go to our 5th. Take a guess. The 5th is the 5th note in the A major scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an E. So there you go, and we're going to be playing E major. So an E major, if you know how to play an E minor, then you're already halfway there. But if you don't, then here's how you play an E major. So you start off, you might as well also, in E minor, how you do that is your E is open, your 6th string, because that's the bass. That's the root of, that's the bass of the chord. So you have your E, your high E, and your high E and your B are also open. So you're playing those guys. And what you're going to do is you're going to place your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string and your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Now if you just strum that, that's an E minor. But we're going to add a little something to make it major. We're going to add that little major flair into it. So we're going to take our index and we're going to place that on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. Now what happens there, now you have that more major sound. Sad, happy, right, there you go. So those are going to be our chords. So we have our bass, or our root, or I should say our root, which is the A, and then we have our 4th, which is the D, and then our 5th, which is the E. Right? Did I say that right? Yeah. Root A, 4th D, 5th E. Now what's going to happen is, because this thing is going to have to follow 12 bars, or 12 measures, and that's kind of what makes it that sort of 12 bars blues. So this is how it's going to go. We're going to be doing, for the first 4 bars, we're going to be playing A. So the first 4, so 1, 2, 3, and any strumming pattern is fine, doesn't matter. 4, and now on the 5th we're going to move to our 4th, or our D, and we're going to be playing that for 2 bars. So now we're going to be up to 6. So let's just kind of take it back a bit. 3, 4, move to the D. 5, 6, and then we're going to go back to our root, our A. 7, 8, and then, so for now what we have is we have the first 4 bars are A, the 5th and the 6th bar are a D, and then 7 and 8 we go back to A. And now we're going to, so 7, 8, and now for 9, we're going to go E major for the 9th bar, E major, and then 10, we're going to go to the D. So this is what, it's the ending of the 12 bars that you have to kind of move around a little bit. There's going to be a couple chords that we're going to be moving through. So we go E9, E for the 9, E, 2, 3, 4, D10, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go back to A for the 11th, A11, 2, 3, 4, and then E major for the 12th, E12. So E12, 2, 3, 4, and then it's just rinse, repeat. It's rinse, repeat. So one more time, that last little part, it's E on the 9th bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, D10, 2, 3, 4, A11, 2, 3, 4, E12, 2, 3, 4. And all together, and we're gonna do this together. I'm gonna count it as I go along. We're gonna do, and it's just repeating the whole thing. So let's do that together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, a 1, 2, 3, a 2, 4, a 3, 2, 3, 4, a 4, 2, 3, 4, D5, 2, 3, 4, D6, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4, A8, 2, 3, 4, E9, 2, 3, 4, D10, 2, 3, 4, A11, 2, 3, 4, E12, 2, 3, 4, A1. Repeat. 2, 3, 4, A2, 2, 3, 4, A3, 2, 3, 4, A4, 2, 3, 4, D5, 2, 3, 4, D6, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4, A8, 2, 3, 4, E9, 2, 3, 4, D10, 2, 3, 4, A11, 2, 3, 4, E12, 2, 3, 4, and A. You can end it right there on the A or something like that. That's a nice little tune. One, if you're learning chords, right, it's nice to know learning your A, your D, and your E. It also is nice to kind of just introduce you to the concept of 12-bar blues and what that means to play within 12 bars, right? Because a lot of blues and a lot of songs that are based in the blues follow this sort of pattern, that 12-bar pattern. And it's very similar. How I start off with my root for the first 4 bars, then I did my 4th for the 5th and 6th, root for 7 and 8, and then 5th, 4th, root, 5th, back to root. And a lot of them follow that. Or if you're a little bit more advanced, maybe you're learning pentatonic scales and things like that. You're learning whatever, mixing the major and minor scales, things like that. This is a nice little track because it does follow that 12-bar blues sort of form, or because it follows that form. It's really nice to jam to because you know what to expect. You know where it's going. So that you could use this as well for your own sort of practicing. You could use this if you have like a loop pedal or something like that. You can use this sort of jam to loop, and then you can practice over it if you're at that stage already. So there you are. So perfect. If you have any questions or concerns, leave a comment or something like that. Thanks. Take care. Bye.